Welcome to the Sarah Scoop Show. It's time to get the scoop with Sarah.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. How are you? Let me move back a little bit.
Good. Thank
How
you
are
for
you?
joining me today. Everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Sarah Scoop Show. We have Novi Brown here joining us. Looking fun with that hair, Novi. I love that.
Thank you. I had a little event yesterday, so you know how to keep it because it was just so cute.
Yeah, that's fun. How did you sleep with it? It was from yesterday.
I just put it okay, it was hard. It was hard last night. I'm not gonna lie. It was a struggle. I put the little head wrap on, and I was going like this side to side, but it was worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it makes the whole interview. But Novi, thank you so much for joining me. We are here to get the scoop on you. You are starring right now in the series Sistas, but you also I was just researching all about you. You have a lot of fun stories. I want to first, before we jump into everything, your name. I heard a story about how you basically named yourself, so I want to hear about that.
Yeah, absolutely. My legal name is Ashley, and Ashley Brown is super common. And when you're in the industry as well, you're not allowed to have the same name as somebody else. So legally, you can't even go by the same name. I would have to do like an initial or something. So me and my mom were discussing it, and I said, I don't know, maybe Ashley's just kind of like a little boring. Maybe I got to do something really brand new. Nobody has it. And I'm born in November. My birthday was on Sunday. So my birthday and my name comes from November, and I just shortened it to Novi, and I was like, oh, that's cute. I like that. So I rock with that. I think it's fun, and yeah, another part of my personality, so it's good.
So do family and friends now that knew you before as Ashley call you Novi?
They do it very jokingly, okay? Especially my uncle. He'll call me and say, oh, can I speak to Novi? I'm like, yo, Uncle Randy, stop playing with me.
Oh, that's so fun. Well, Novi, another thing, and a lot of people are loving the hair. Another thing that you are great at is hair and makeup. Where did that come from?
Man, that came from so many places. Obviously, the curiosity, right? A lot of us young girls love to play in hair and makeup, and I'm a tomboy too. Don't get it twisted. That's why I like to, do all the different things. But then I was really thinking about myself as an actor and how I wanted to, visually present myself. And I was living in New York at the time, and I had my hair, straight all of the time. But I said, okay, let me just cut my hair. I cut my hair. See, this is the thing. When your hair is cut, you about to change your life. But the thing is, Sarah, I had tried to get my hair cut. You remember when Tom and Katie Holmes had the same haircut?
Mm-hmm. Were you going with that too?
I was trying, and that's so delusional because my hair texture is nothing like your hair texture, right? So I'm sitting there oh yeah, I can get this haircut, not being well versed on how I would take care of it and manage it, right? And what it would really be. So that's how I accidentally, but on purpose, fell into my natural hair journey. So I actually cut off all my hair, and I never went back to putting any chemicals really in my hair. And from there, I was living in New York City, and I had basically was doing commercials at the time. And I swear to you, Sarah, as soon as I cut my hair, I started booking like this. It was weird. It was and it was little curly stews, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, I think my personality just snapped into place, or, my look just snapped into place. I looked that way. And I started looking different. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. And, as you're building and as you're becoming a young woman and stuff like that, you start playing with your fashion and your look and things like that. And I just started really getting creative with my hair. I just love to change the style and do I like it slick back? Do I like it Bantu knots? Do I like braids? Do I like cornrows? And especially with our hair, black hair, it's so versatile. We can hold so many different styles. So I had made it then a part of my mission to put it in, tandem with my acting. And I was like, no, I really want to rock these natural styles, these cool, fun, interesting, abstract hairstyles that we can do with our hair. And I want to make it fly. I want to be a CEO with braids. I don't think that should be a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a personal evolution. And then I really think it really plays into part of the representation that we really need,
Yes. No, I love that. And I think it's so fun. And everyone is agreeing in this chat. People are like, I am living for this high bun. They are loving it. So going back, you mentioned like you were doing commercial work and things in New York, and now we see you on Sistas. Like, how did all of it evolve, and kind of like even your role now? Like, how did that come? Because I know things don't happen overnight, even though a lot of people, we see it and we see you and we're like, oh, you know, she's on TV or whatnot. But like, do you want to talk a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are?
Yeah, lots of tears. Okay, lots of hard work, lots of patience building, a lot of faith building in yourself, a lot of just, you have to maintain your vision. I feel everybody is born with a vision in mind, you know, and it's not necessarily the vision that you might even end up with, because I'm here now. It's like, whoa, this is not what I had imagined for myself, you know? My first show, I've never gotten a guest star or a co-star role. I've been like in the indie market, and I've done plays, and because theater was my major and I graduated with that major, and you know, I've done commercials and modeling, but when it was coming to TV, it was so hard. Like, it was like nobody was saying yes, but I was getting callbacks and I was getting put on hold for stuff, and you know, I was auditioning for big things. And I'm just telling you guys, you have to be crazy to maintain this vision. You have to, whatever you guys got going on for yourself, I promise you, you were given it by spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call it in your personal life. You were given that vision. And I just felt like I had to take the leap of faith. I couldn't go my whole life and not wonder if I hadn't done everything possible to get to where I want to get. And, you know, where I am now, it's worth it, because all the DMs I get from these young Black girls and young Black women who are just, oh my God, I love your hair, or your body type, thank you, da 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 da, whatever the case may be. It's just, you know, oh, my daughter's getting her hair done like yours on the show. And it's just those little things, you know, those little baby things, those reinforcements that we belong, that are just so important and so vital. So this journey has been many thousands. I mean, I don't know, y'all, like thousands, 3,000 auditions. If you have actor friends and family, they interview more than any of you people will ever, okay? So please don't get on their back. Please don't just support them, drive them to the audition, please. Send them the $20 in the Cash App, okay? My friends did that for me. I was on EBT, y'all. I was homeless for a while. Like, you go through cycles, you know what I'm saying? You go through cycles in life, and just honor your vision, though, because the thing is that you just don't know how you're going to get there. And I think that's the trick. And I feel like when you let go of being obsessed on how am I going to get there, then it's not going to be this. So now Tyler Perry's my boss, you know what I'm saying? And I was the first working actor in the middle of quarantine in the world. Like, you can't make these things up. So please just stick in there. Okay.
What is it that you think, like, I'm sure that a lot of people are in that situation, you know, there are so many people that want to get into the entertainment world, or really any career. You can hear no a lot. What was it besides just having that vision? Like, how did you not give up?
You have, first of all, stay curious. Like, for me in my industry, there's so many things to do. So I started picking up a camera. I started getting into editing. I started getting into writing. Get curious about your field. Like, there's not only one thing that you should be knowing. You should know, how does the camera work? What is an 85? What is a UV power lens? What is this like? What is that? There's so many ways to stay inspired in your respective field. Say you're, you know, if you're in marketing, okay, maybe you want to have your own marketing business, but you need to start from every single place, because once you do have the business, you want to know what the mailroom feels like. You want to know what the PA feels like. You want to know what the assistant feels like. You want to know everybody's place. And that just makes you a more well-rounded, valuable player in the game. That'll make you, you know what I'm saying? And it also will make you a leader in a consulting side, because now you're going to be really, really full and rich of information, and you know what you're doing. So when I go on set, I'm having conversations with, you know, my DPs, conversations with the gaffers, the lighters. I'm not just talking to people who are in the front. It's never about that, y'all. It's about talking to the editors, the people in edit bay, the people in post-production. When I go down to the voiceover lot, there's so many conversations to be had. So that's what I feel like. I just stayed curious. And once I felt there was a roadblock in one area of my creativity, I said, okay, we'll figure something else out. Because this is, you know, for me, it's the movie world. So there's so many avenues I could dive into. So I started writing scripts, y'all. And I'm here having meetings. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people are like, oh, what are you doing? I'm doing, things are happening back here because and that's the other thing, y'all. I came prepared because of my curiosity. The moment came, and I'm not just in this like, oh, I'm an actor. No, I have content. I have knowledge. I have relationships. That's another thing y'all missing out on is you need to be networking and building those relationships. You want to be a lawyer? You need to be going to those business conferences. You need to be going and making sure that you're sitting in on classes and, oh, there's a professor that you really love their book. Make sure you're writing them and networking with them and reaching out to people. Trust me, y'all, there's always a million things to do. I just think that we get obsessed once again. I want to be the star. I want to be in front of the camera. Sarah, I'm so excited about being in the business. I'm not even stressed about being in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many other things that I found passion in what I'm doing. So yeah, stay curious, y'all. I promise. It's going to be hard for sure, but stay curious.
And did that, not constant, but I mean, you mentioned you went on a ton of auditions. And so you did hear no, and you got that rejection. Did that bother you? And how did you, I know that you're curious and I love this. You were giving amazing advice, but I know that there was a lot of questions that I got when I said I was interviewing you that are how do I deal with the negativity or the rejection, things like that?
You honor it, one,
mm-hmm.
because it's valid and there's nothing
mm-hmm.
wrong with saying that. But then two, you have to ask yourself, is it rejection or redirection? Because that's really what we're talking. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Because I could have gotten imagine if I would have gotten a guest star somewhere else and my contract hadn't locked in and I couldn't have gotten this opportunity. The thing is that what y'all really don't understand is there are people out there talking about you, rooting for you, they care about you. And the other key is visibility. So make sure that you're visible and people know who you are. See, I had a hair channel popping before. I did my makeup before. And I was sponsored by CoverGirl at the time. And I wasn't getting paid for it, but they paid attention to me. And then I took that as a sign. I was like, oh, that's a sign. I'm going to be there. And don't get me wrong. I literally, the day I auditioned for this role, Tyler Perry, I was crying my guts out to my mother. When is this going to happen? I don't understand. I'm doing everything I can. The same day, I don't want y'all to, okay? So honor the emotions as the human side of you, but then realize the spiritual side is, baby, your place is very curated, okay? Your time is coming. So I maintain that. And now it's just living proof when I go down Sunset and I see my damn face all over the thing. Imagine if I would have took those other, and I've said no when I've had no money, no anything, because I've maintained my integrity. I maintained my vision. One time my manager was like, oh, and she's great. I love my manager. She's very strategic and that's how we work. And so she's like, okay, there's this channel. We can audition you on here. And I was like, it's corny. I don't like it. She's like, yeah, but it has millions and millions of people. I said, I don't care. I don't want to align myself with that. But those are the things you have to be that way. So when I came into this industry, oh, I'm clear, honey. I'm not, no way is going to be taking me for a ride. I know exactly where I'm going with this because I've been through so many delays and roadblocks and redirections and things like that. So once the rejection comes, is it rejection or redirection? Then also, what could I have done better on that audition? Or you know what? I killed that audition. And then also, no, it's not about you. It's not if you're a real artist, you got to take your feelings out of this sometimes. You really do. Because as a writer, and this is exactly what I was saying about staying curious, because I started putting myself in the writer position again, because I used to write as a kid, but again. And it's not about that. It's about the chemistry. What if me and Sarah don't have chemistry, but Sarah is the leading lady? It doesn't matter how good Novi is. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on here, right? So we really have to think about all those other components that are going into making what we want to happen.
I love this. I was like, oh, we're going to talk about your show and stuff. But I feel like this is such a great, you are giving so much good advice to people. And I just love this. The rejection to redirection. I mean, I feel like that is for anyone in
in the world
aspects in their life. That's amazing. So you did book the role though. So what was that like when you did get that role, and like how did you know, with like you said, you know, not everything was a fit for you. Like how did you know this was your role?
Because when I went to audition, so they flew me to Atlanta. So that's another sign, right? You audition, you put yourself on tape. Now they're going to spend money to fly you somewhere, put you in a hotel, give you money to eat, just so they can see you audition in person. That's a big compliment to your talent, a big compliment to your hard work. That was great for me. And I went in there, I auditioned, and I didn't hear anything for a month and a half. And my mom was like, where are they? I said, Mom, relax. The fact that they even flew me down there and even would spend money on me, I know I auditioned my ass off. So I'm good. Like, that's good. And with all of the, you know, going to the audition and being here and being there, making sure that you just, it's okay. I maintain that space and I let it go, y'all. Other people were talking about it in my life, but I let it go. So that's the other thing. Energetically let that thing go, right? So I let it go, boom, right? Then my manager, Matilda, calls me. Matilda's probably watching. Hey. So she calls. She goes, they want you to come in for a callback, but for a different character. And I don't know, Sarah, but that I just knew. I knew. I was like, oh, they want me. They want me. I just gotta. I said, Matilda, say less. I got this. And I've never felt so confident. I don't know why. It was just, y'all know, all of us have had that moment where we just knew like something different was happening, you know? Because I was like, it's been a month and a half. I didn't hear anything. I saw a breakdown of the characters again. And I was like, what? Like, he didn't like any of us, you know, kind of thing. And like, he had talked to me in the room and stuff. So I was like, dang, you know? But then when I heard about this callback, I said, oh, okay, they want me. So that was on a Friday. Callback was on a Monday here in Los Angeles. Went to the callback for Kim Coleman. Hey, Kim Coleman. And literally went in, did the audition with her, got up, and she was like, so how'd you like Atlanta? I was like, oh my God, Miss, I love it. It was so cool. I was like, thank you, you know? And then I just walked out. I'm like, why would she say that? Why would she ask that? You know, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe they're talking about me, you know, like kind of thing, like whatever. Literally the next day, I got a call asking me about the nudity clause. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Like, I don't care about none of that. we in there. Like, we don't mind none of that, okay? And then on Wednesday, the following day, I got my contract. And I was freaking out, y'all. I called my mom. We cried on the phone. I went over to one of my best friend's house. We were screaming. We had a toast. And this is the weird thing, guys. This is how you know the universe be working. I went over to my best friend's house, okay? His friend was there, Tyrese. He had an audition for what? A role in Sistas, for a role with Sabrina. The same day that I got the role and I went over there, Sarah. That's how loud.
Okay, that's just crazy. Like, that doesn't happen. Like,
no,
what?
That does not happen. I was like, what? So I found out, y'all, and then I was on a plane on Thursday and I was shooting on Monday. Okay, so I went from no roles to 25 episodes.
That's amazing. I love that story, and like just your attitude and perseverance. Like, that's what I think is so just enlightening about you. I love that.
Thank you.
So did you end up moving then permanently, or did you just travel, or how did that work with your daily lifestyle? And I know it's different now, like everything's a little different, but when you were filming and stuff.
What the cool thing about Tyler and Tyler Perry Studios is he films so fast, as I'm sure some of you know. So I don't have a regular actor schedule. This is another thing. Like, this is why I'm just like, I don't understand. I'm so blessed. Like, I work 2 weeks out of the year, y'all. I shoot my whole show in 2 weeks. Everything you see is a one take. It's a one time. We shoot out of order. So let's say Sarah and I have a bunch of scenes in Sarah's apartment, you know, throughout the season. So we would shoot a bunch of those, you know, in a day or two kind of thing. So I live in California. I have literally my regular life, you know, on Wednesdays. Today is Sistas Wednesday. So I'm always online talking with people, trying to do, you know, I do like Zoom parties and stuff like that and watch the show with people and things. And, you know, I have a really I'm just so blessed. So that's why I'm working so diligently doing other things in the background, whether that's making my own content, producing my own things, you know, making my own films, stuff like that. So I'm just really blessed, y'all. It's very hard. I'm not saying it's not difficult, okay? Everybody's like, what? We do 100 to 122 pages in a day.
That's got to be a little, at least exhausting to try to.
It's very exhausting.
Keep the energy up too.
It's very exhausting, but I feel like it's just, it's like an adrenaline rush, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When the mom sees the baby under the car, you're just like, you're like lifting it up, and you're just, you know. But after that, I realize now after this season, my self-care routine before and after, which is very important. That's what I realized I have to implement, because I can soldier through, because it's like a acting boot camp if you think about it. 2 weeks of just strenuous, like, getting it done. But then after that, I have to like take a break. Like, I need a week off mentally, you know, because your brain is so packed with hundreds of pages. So.
And what is it like on set, like with your castmates and everything? Like, I mean, I would assume watching the show, it's so fun and everything, but I'd love to hear it in your own words.
It's just so fun, and it just moves so fast. So the thing is, like, a lot of us will start to, you know, hey, oh my God, because you see them passing by so fast because they got to go to their scene. We got to go to their scene, got to go to, hey, well, you know, kind of thing. So we do a lot of rehearsals on the phone, on Zoom, kind of stuff like that to get prepared. But when we get there, we're like go time. You know, sometimes on set, Tyler will let us improv. So a lot of times there's like improv in the show that you guys are seeing. And that's when we're having our most fun. We're not doing any pranks or anything like that because we just don't have time. So
I was wondering how much of it was completely scripted. I mean, because you said you do one take. So I didn't know if like you guys ever went off script a little bit, and some of it was just like your personality showing through a little more even than your character.
It's definitely scripted, but in the format of what our characters would say, because you know, we pretty much know what they would say at this point. We know how they would react, and that's the fun thing, because you know, he really likes the long awkward moments, right? There's a lot of long gazes that we're having right on the show. It's because it's like a melodrama, so it's like a lot of long gazes and but we like to fill the space with looks, or sometimes it's just like you know, and then something happens and then the other person reacts, and now we've started going into a scene. You know, Sabrina's getting nervous because Jacoby's breathing on her neck, and she's like, okay, you know, kind of thing. And he lets the camera roll because he's so entertained by what we're doing. So yeah, it's great.
And I feel like the show really touches a lot of things that people go through in real life as well. Like, yeah, it's, you know, it's fun and all of that, but there are things that people can definitely relate to. How do you feel like that has impacted like the viewers? And I mean, it's obviously done very well and people are, you know, it's a great show. But what do you think it is about it? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you want to say it, but I feel like it is very relatable for people.
It's just relatable because dating,
yeah,
dating is just relatable. It's like, oh my gosh, who doesn't love a great girlfriend, Sex in the City, living single, friends, like all those times when you're trying to journey, you know, your way into who you are outside of society, outside of even your friend group, and trying to navigate those new waves, you know. And I just feel like I dated a guy like Calvin, so it's real. You know, I've dated that. I've been in that situation. A lot of women have been in that situation, okay? That's why they be so triggered. A lot of women have dated a Gary, okay? A lot of that has happened before. So I think seeing yourself and not seeing yourself perfect and seeing it very vulnerable on the screen, I think it's just powerful. That's why I love film, because film and music, that's just, you know, amazing.
When was it, like, going back in your life that you had this passion? Like, has this been something that I love talking to people that are so passionate about what they're doing, and you definitely like share that, like you're just glowing, and I just love it. And I'm curious of when this started. Was it a hobby, or, you know, were you young?
I feel like it always existed. My mom always said, why you got so much to say? You're like 5 years old. What are you talking about? You know, I just think I have definitely an old soul, but I remember the first movie that I saw in the movie theaters that I remember was The Little Mermaid. And when I saw The Little Mermaid, it made me feel some type of way. Like, I felt emotional about it. And I said that as a kid, I realized how interesting, strange, powerful it was to be affected by something that's not here. You know what I'm saying? And it's over there on the screen, but yet somehow I relate and I connect with it. And so I just got curious and I realized how psychological art is. You know, we really are teaching each other how to interact with each other, what our cultures might be like. You know, if you want to travel, for instance, like right now with COVID, throwing on a film to your favorite culture would be the perfect thing to do, because then you would feel that you're immersed there and that you're learning something. So it's just powerful to me. And I saw how people would react, right? And I would see Michael Jackson and people just like fall out over him and pass out. And I'd just be like, what is this? Why are people acting like this, you know? And I don't feel that way really about anybody. I respect everybody's work and I think people are just dope in general. But when I see people go to like, what is that? What's happening to them to feel so evoked? It just feels so spiritual, you know, and it's beautiful. And so that's why I see such a responsibility in it, because your kid could be watching something and then they come home and then they start repeating exactly what that person said or what that cartoon said and stuff like that. So I think we're becoming more aware of how powerful of a tool this medium is. And we're starting to really understand how we can help connect one another, create conversations between communities and cultures, you know what I'm saying, in a more authentic way. So that's why I really love about this. Like there's nothing not to be excited about when it comes to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just nothing. I don't know. I'm just excited. I get excited to see people see themselves or see or recognize something that they want or something that they need. And what it does is it transcends all of the physical. You know, it transcends the physical. That's why it's so powerful, because you could sit there and watch Moonlight or watch Brokeback Mountain, right? Those two different cultures, but about love, about two people connecting, and you could just, like, why do you feel that way? You got it. Yeah. That's just how I feel, Sarah. It's powerful.
I love that. And Novi, with, you know, all of this and like your passion, how do you deal with like the comparison thing? Because I feel like more people are at home, more people are looking on their phones, looking at other people maybe getting a role that they wanted. What advice? Because girl, you are full of advice. Like, you know what you're talking about. What advice
my acting teacher said, Lee Kilton Smith, she said, comparison and cancer start with the same letter. Don't do it. You're such an individual. Like, even though we're all connected and we're all one, we are still individuals. So the comparison thing, oh, I have to look like that, I have to be like this, I have to sound like that. No, you don't have to do none of that. Okay, I'm an actor and an astrologer. Okay, you don't really see that around. You don't.
Yeah, I wanted that. We're gonna talk about that too.
Exactly. So it's like I do what I want to do. There's 8 billion people out here. There's so many different avenues. There's so many different tribes that you guys can be a part of, you know. But honestly, comparing yourself, what did they say? Comparing yourself is the thief of joy. Comparing yourself, you're taking away from all of your gifts and all of your talents. And if you're getting into that state, which we all do, because it's okay. It's a lot of information that we're dealing with. We're not really realizing how much it's impacting our psychological and our mental space. Step away, unplug, turn it off, take a couple weeks break. Tell your manager, you know what, I need about a week, 2 weeks. I don't want to do auditions right now. It's okay. I used to be that person too and feel like I can't go anywhere. I'm gonna miss my audition. You're never gonna miss the opportunity that's meant for you. I promise you. And your mental health and your emotional well-being is top tier. Taking care of that is top tier behavior. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're doing that. And you're not, and it's not fair. It's not fair for you to think as an individual that that person is not capable of doing that role. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what their journey is and what they're supposed to learn while they're experiencing that. So
I don't think I've ever done an interview where I wanted to like pull out so many quotes just to like remember from you. I'm like, this is great advice. Finally, like, I could probably talk to you all day, but I won't. Right. But okay, let's talk about, because you mentioned this. We've got a couple more things, but you mentioned you are not just an actress. So let's talk about the other, like, kind of, is it, I guess, career path, or you tell us what it is you do.
I really like, that's an interesting question. I think that's still formulating and curating. I really feel like it's a part of my purpose to inspire people to step into their light. And I do it in the way of media, but very much in the way of astrology. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the mystical realm that we don't really know about, but it tells us about ourselves. So people are like, ah. I just think it's a neat party trick. You know, I always say God is a poet first. And if you look around and you look at the nature and everything around, it's just so stunning and so beautiful. And we're a part of that nature, right? And what I love about astrology is just trust me, y'all, I was like you. Like, please. That's not serious. I'm not jealous. I'm a Scorpio. I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's great shadow work. It's great inner work. It's great self-awareness. It's great. It's a great way to really understand other people's energy and accept them for who they are and not to be judgmental even more. It's a great way to really realize everybody's role in this energetic world. It's so interesting to me, and people really see themselves.
And how do you recommend people get into that? Because I mean, you know, it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But for some, like, let's say a newbie, it just is like, oh, you know, how do I even start learning about that? What do you recommend?
I would say personally for me, I would say definitely get your natal chart first. That means your birth time, birth location, birth date. If you don't have your birth time, it's okay. We can start without that first, but you can get a roundabout. You might want to go to grandma and be like, Grandma, you remember what time I was born? I don't know, baby. It might have been around like noon. It was after my stories. Okay. Like, you know, something like that. So boom. So you're going to go get your birth chart. That's the first thing that you're going to do. And then you're going to look at, for me, what I think is really cool. You look at your rising sign, your moon sign, and your sun sign. So I like to call it like your whip. Okay. Like your rising sign is what's on the vehicle on the outside that you're driving. The sun sign is like the colors inside and what it feels like, the vibe. And then the moon sign is maybe who you're talking to, the music you're listening to. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what makes you up, because what we say is still a filtered version of what we feel. So that's what astrology is about. And that's honestly what therapy and psychology is about. So it's, you know, unmasking that. So get into that first. And there's a really cool app that I like, the Twin Flame app. You guys can get it. It's free. Boom.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. And Novi, to wrap up the interview, I just want you to share for people that haven't gotten to watch Sistas yet, like, why do you recommend they tune in, and just, you know, tell us a little more about this show and why people should watch it.
Sistas is a show about 4 young melanated queens doing their thing, trying to figure out their love lives while also navigating their sister circle. It's 4 professional women with little messy lives, a little scandal, okay, little action, a little skin, little sex, okay? Like, things are happening there. It's just a really entertaining show. It's over the top. It's so dramatic, but it's real. Like, it's real because it is so dramatic, okay? It will have you immersed in it. It's like Sex in the City with a hint of power, okay? It's like a mix-up of both of those things. And we have a lot that we're going to unpack. And as well as we touch on real issues, masculinity versus femininity. We touch on LGBTQ. We touch on, you know, mental health issues. We touch on betrayal and loyalty. We touch on sisterhood. So there's actually a lot of hot topics that are in the show. And you guys can catch it on BET every Wednesday at 9/8 Central. You guys can also, I feel like you guys can get it on like Amazon or something if you guys don't have BET.
Thank you so much, Novi. And a lot of people, hopefully you can see the comments, they are like, I love this show. So keep doing what you're doing. And Novi, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. This was such a lovely conversation, and I will make sure to get it all shared because I really appreciate just sharing your journey and your insight and everything. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah, so much. I hope you have a beautiful holiday. Enjoy your family.
And everyone, watch Novi tonight on Sistas.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Novi.
Thank you for watching The Sarah Scoop Show. Head to sarahscoop.com for more.